So last night I DM'd my first ever Dungeons and Dragons game, and I had an absolute blast. I wanted to thank the community for all the advice I received, all the encouragement, and I wanted to do a brief adventure journal just to let everyone know how this came about and what happened, just to as a way to say thank you, and also to hopefully encourage some other folks who, like myself, don't have any experience but are interested in getting started. So a while back, I was channel surfing on YouTube and came across a video called "The Seven Types of Players." I thought it was a general gaming thing, but I clicked on it and found out it was a Dungeons and Dragons video by Matt Colville. Uh, I didn't think much of it at the time, but I'd been bitten by the bug. So over the next few days, I started watching a few more of his videos, and this idea of playing D&D grew and grew in my mind. I'd never played before. I'd thought about it a couple times, but never had the friends, never had the books, never had maps and miniatures and all these really expensive toys that everyone used. But eventually, through watching his videos and doing some reading online, and I realized this is something I wanted to give a try. So I took a leap of faith, put it out there on social media, asked any of my friends in town if they were interested in doing something like this. I didn't expect any response, honestly. But believe it or not, I had several people asking me, even friends of friends, like someone said, "Hey, I hear you're putting together a game. I would love to get in on it." And it was a lot of fun. So I started doing my homework. Because I organized the DM position kind of fell to me, and it was not something I minded at all. And after last night, I'm super happy with it. Uh, but I started doing my research. Watched Matt Colville's videos. Started watching Critical Role. I watched Matt Mercer's DM tips. I got a borrowed copy of the Player's Handbook and the DM Guide, and I started reading them. Started preparing myself. Picked up a copy of the starter kit, the super cheap, $13 starter kit on Amazon, and away we went. So last night was our first meeting, and it was a lot of fun. It was real low pressure. We're all friends here, friends from church, friends from social gatherings, social circles, and it was real low key. So we spent the first hour and a half or so rolling characters, getting them started. They came in kind of knowing what they wanted to do with it, but we rolled the 4d6, dropped the lowest, but as a way to, especially for first time players like we were, I didn't want anyone to get stuck with a bad roll. I didn't want them to have a bad first experience. So we made a compromise that if they didn't like their numbers, they could take the standard array. Actually, believe it or not, no one wanted to do standard array after they rolled their numbers. No one has any 18s or anything like that, but they were happy with the numbers they got. So then the adventure started. So our party last night consisted of Jorgen, the half-elf sorcerer, Lenicus, the half-orc barbarian, and Imbros, the tiefling rogue. We actually have two other players in our group, but they couldn't make it last night. One was out of town, and one is a high school student who has a test today. And I was never going to penalize someone for prioritizing school over Dungeons and Dragons. So they started off on the adventure, and it was the Lost Mine of Phandelver from the starter pack, and they got into their first encounter. The again, right off the bat, I started making mistakes, and I started learning from it. I started seeing what I can be doing better for the future. One of the characters, Imbros, the rogue, he missed a perception check, so he got a surprise. He was surprised by the goblins who started this ambush for the first fight. And in my inexperience, I forgot to give two of the goblins a surprise attack. So then combat started. First round, things seemed to go okay. The characters are trying to catch up with the scout, and one of the goblins gets a shot on the rogue. Second round, the goblin gets another shot on the rogue. Second turn, first fight of the adventure, rogue goes down. And on his turn, he crit fails his saving throw. So he has two failures before they even finish the first fight of this adventure. Then next round, both of the other characters fail to stabilize him, and then he he fails his third saving throw. At this point, this is where I made a concession. When I saw that none of them rolled a class that had a lot of healing, I did prepare a cleric just in case. I didn't expect to use it this early. I really didn't expect to use it at all. But I figured they'd finish this goblin fight. They'd go into town, and I'd have him at the temple, and they could have him tag along for a little bit. But I didn't want the party to suffer because I improperly balanced a fight. The adventure is made for 4 to 5 players. We only had 3, no healing, so I didn't want to punish the players for my mistake. So I asked them, is it okay if I go ahead and bring this cleric in now? And they were totally fine with it. Brought him in, stabilized the rogue, and the fight went on. So we couldn't finish that fight. Actually, we have jobs and families that we had to get back to. So 2 weeks from now, I'm looking forward to trying it again. But I wanted to close with just a couple things I learned from my first time DMing. First off, you don't have to be experienced to do it. Like I said, I have never played before in my life, and I DM'd last night. Yeah, I made mistakes. Like I said, I forgot the surprise run for some of the goblins. I misadded some attack numbers. I had to look through things. I forgot to write down monster stat blocks and important information on note cards and have it ready. So it was a lot of book flipping. But I also learned I don't have to be afraid to ask questions. With the players. Like, I don't know experience, so I didn't have all their classes memorized. I didn't have all the spells memorized. So I told them up front. We were very clear up front that I'm not their enemy. I'm not the adversary. I'm not trying to kill them. It's my job just to run the world. So we trusted each other. If I asked them, hey, how does that spell go? They looked at they read their spell card or they read their spell book, and we were all on the same page. And I think that was being able that socializing, being able to trust and interact with the players. It was a lot of fun. We were all having a really good time, and that's the most important thing. Even though none of us knew what we were doing, even though we're extremely inexperienced, we had a lot of fun. We laughed, we joked, we had we had a good time, and we're really looking forward to next time. So that would be my encouragement to people who are afraid to start because they don't know what they're doing. That doesn't matter. Have fun with it. Get started, mess up, and learn from it for next time. That's certainly what I've done. So again, to the community, thank you so much, and I look forward to playing again real soon.